Chapter 13, The Funeral. Dearly beloved. Ladies, gentlemen, news outlets, and other valued members of the human nation state. Bye. The trolls were right fucking there, come on. Okay, Jake, why? Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to gather with me and my family today. A day of exquisite loss and mourning. Gamzee Makara, High Court Jester, exalted saint of the purple veil, has left us to traverse that grand, gay carnival in the sky where I am told by various members of the Clowny Cloth he will spend the rest of history honking in grand tribute to the mirthful Messiah. I come before you with rage in my heart for the vile, cowardly monsters who have taken away our dear minister, Makara, and I know that many of you feel the same way. But today is a day of healing, of memories, and my first memory of our Purple Prince was his robust cod Pete. Jake, I hate to say it, but I think you need to fucking shoot Jane right now. Jake, Dirk, please, do the thing. As he offered me his friendly support, along with the sacred blood of his brethren, the holy sacrament. I wish Dirk was here. I wish this Dirk was here going, okay, Jane, knock it off. No. Knock it off. We're going to have to kill this guy, Jake. Damn. Blah, 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 blah. It takes Jake a few seconds of puzzled eye contact before he catches exactly what it is Yiffany is tossing down. In his defense, he's distracted by his wife's speech, which is doing the emotional equivalent of wringing him out like a wet towel, before using that towel to slap away the sweaty buttocks of a large, odorous man. Even if he knows everything she says is the load of horse feathers, it does nothing for his composure to hear her heap praise on that smelly, home-wrecking clown. We're going to try to fix the mistakes of the past, but they're still there. Still fucking there. Jane wonders what to say about him at his own funeral. He narrows his eyes in Yiffany's direction. She's a lovely girl, really. He wishes he could have gone to know her under better circumstances. He'd known she existed, of course. Jane had complained about her often enough, but they never had much of a chance to get acquainted. He rather believes her and Tabby would have been fast friends. Then again, perhaps it's better that she never had much of a chance to get to know his family. He lets go of the leash. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. And I know that at times like these, it is easy to want to give in, to throw in the towel, and turn our faces away from the light of democracy and moral fortitude that we, the citizens of the human kingdom, are blessed with from birth. God knows I've had my own faith tested in the last few weeks. As many of you know, I did not grow up with the same privileges that all of you enjoy. I was born on Proto-Earth, the half-finished dystopia mangled by the ravages of foolish leadership and endless war. And as for Gamzee, well, his upbringing was even worse. He was born to a violent and uncaring home, a lonely child with few natural gifts. Cat. I am now holding the cat. Oh, she does not want to be held, though. It would be simple to let this disgusting, vile, shameful act of spiteful revenge Turn us away from the blinding light of the sword of justice that hangs over all, poised, trembling, ready to burst forth. I want to give up at times. I understand your pain. I sympathize with your pain. But when that pain becomes too hard to endure, remember poor, lifeless Gamzee, who suffered pain far worse than any of us could have ever fathomed. The pain of betrayal. Dude, didn't you lower the voltages on that shock collar? Little Red isn't looking so hot. Yes, of course I did, but the damn doohickey's got the kick of a donkey. Couldn't remove it completely, said Noah. Wait, I couldn't remove it completely. Said no. What the? I couldn't remove it completely. Said no. I was the one who did it. No, she'd. She'd know. I was the one who did it. Well, if that supervillain Cutting Waffle doesn't stop, she's going to kill her. Not really the best at hostage management, is she? Hey, don't call my wife a Cutting Waffle. It may be deserved, but it is certainly ungentlemanly. Brain Ghosterk, I would have expected better of you. Can't imagine why. Aren't you going to do anything? Why don't you do something? Because I don't really exist, dickhead. Ghosterk, he's so good. But we cannot allow his memory to be in vain. For Gamzee and Makara taught us that even the most loathsome degenerate can take their place in society. All they need is the right redemption arc. Fuck you, Jade. Pomp. Yes. Good. I'm glad. Young lady, I am just about at the end of my rope with you. Throw all the dog bowls you want at the walls of my warship, but don't you dare act up in front of a live fucking newsfeed. After everything I've done for you, paying for your education, helping your parents cover up for your existence from the world, just imagine what Rose and Jade would say if they could see you now. Even dissonance can have a little decorum. Get down from there at once. Don't you threaten me, young lady. Not today. There's nowhere for you to go. My agents are swarming this church. Be reasonable, Yiffany. Disgusting name, but that's hardly your fault. You were always just a footnote. Your parents' little prank. Honestly, that's why I helped them all those years ago. I do love a good jape. But let's be serious. You don't matter. If you did, they would have come for you already. Hot spit and monkey vomit. This is getting bad. I shouldn't have let her go up there. I thought you would have run away. Still might. And she does. Seemingly at the end of her tolerance for insults towards her name, social status, and heritage, Yiffany performs an impressive backflip off the podium and down onto the church floor. One that, if it hadn't been happening amidst a sea of other newsworthy events, would have surely ended up on someone's Instagram story within 30 seconds. She gives Gamzee's corpse one last parting kick. A hard, proper kick that proves these cleats aren't just for show, although they are certainly also for fashion. There he flies in his gangly, purple, necrotizing glory. A phantom honk seems to hang above the congregation, as if from an echo of a time long past, a simpler time. A time before we had to deal with the disgusting clown's bloated corpse every other update. He vanishes into the seething crowd, and we are confident that we'll never have to deal with this asshole ever again. Author, I doubted you in the beginning, but I need you to do me the fattest of fucking solids. I need this man to stay fucking dead and never be brought back, please. please actually mean what you say here. Jake watches from a safe distance, poised from the edge of intervening to pull Yifney out of there. In the end, he doesn't have to. Instead, he watches in admiration as she tears the place to utter shreds. An echoing sympathy swells inside of him as she rends apart the funeral flowers and punts Gamzee into the streaking congregation. Here's a girl who felt cold, indecent hand of fate wrapping around her, and instead of submitting to it and slowly sublimating down into a morass of boiled doormat, she slapped it away from her with a lively, "Oh, no thank you." All at once, Jake feels immense affection for his granddaughter. He hopes the two of them can make up for lost time. Enough of this! Seize her! Explosion. The stained glass window shatters inward, obliterated to stardust. The war is knocking. Chapter 14. The best laid plans. Oh, I see Maxwell's typing. Alright. I will keep going. Wait, what? Alright. Oh my god, I'm wiped. Haven't felt this happy to be plastered to the couch in forever. Are you? Wow. I feel like I'm barely keeping myself sitting. If it weren't for keeping you kids safe, I'd be out there right now. Well, we did just do a whole lot of running around for no good reason, and some of us aren't gods and shit. I'm detecting a hint of judgment in your voice there, Harry Anderson. Don't you enjoy being part of all this, finally getting to be in the thick of it all? I mean, I was having a fine time at school, if I'm being honest. All this tear-assing back and forth between my home and various points of interest over the past few days has me pretty beat. Also, I wouldn't call this the thick of it all. Oof, getting air quoted by my own son. We had to hide in a Forsyth bush on the way back here when that drone flew by. That's the thick of father-son hijinks if I ever saw it. Well, modern-day war hijinks. But, yeah. Come here. Can't. I'm doing a live reading. You can't be doing this shit. What will the people think of me? Oh, jeez. You really don't want to be held like a baby right now. Yeah, I guess. I'm not knocking the old adrenaline throw or helping out Vrissy's mom or anything. Moms. I'm just saying I was literally just here and you told me to leave. So this is where we're going to park it for a minute. A boy's gotta breathe. Yeah, well, this wasn't my plan either. But Rose sent out some false intel about us heading towards my house. So technically this is the safest place we can be right now since it cleared the area and everything. I guess. Hmm? What? Now now you look like you're hiding some extra commentary. Oh, I don't need to burn you with all the bureaucratic stuff. It's boring. Well, now hold up, Dad. A minute ago, you were all, we're in the fight together, and you're backing out of the sharing the details. It's not really, am I a part of this or not? Well, I'd sure say you were, but I guess maybe my thought on what is and isn't right for the operation aren't up to snuff. Because here I am, sitting in the dugout, same as you. In the dugout? Or, well, what's a better metaphor you might like better? No. I'm like the understudy. Dad, no. Jesus, you don't have to do this. Or I got cast in a babysitter number two when I had auditioned for, I don't know. Yeah. Yes, please. I got the baseball metaphor. I'm not a complete fucking nerd. Oh, I see. I was just like acknowledging that we've been sidelined here. Not that I mind personally, since, like I said, I am super stoked to be relaxing on the couch and not fighting a war. Plus, I wouldn't have been able to get your measurements for some clothes that actually fit you if we hadn't come back here with all my sewing stuff. But it seemed like you were getting pretty into everything back there with Rose and them, getting to be with the old crew and everything, like the stories you used to tell me about the game. Yeah, that sucks. I had a good plan too. It just wasn't good enough for Carcat, I guess. I'm just not experienced enough in combat strategy. Oh, now you're throwing the air quotes back at me. No, those are for Carcat. Oh, okay, fair game then. Look at us, bantering away. That was a plus of being here, at least. It's been really nice to get to spend some time with you. Oh, yeah, it's not so bad. Anyway, before you ruffle my hair or anything, it looks like things are getting a bit heated between the Vriskas over there. Maybe we should offer them a snack to bring the mood down? Me? Mess up your hair when you work so hard on that look? I do know you at least that well, Harry Anderson. Thank God. Alright. Um, hey Vriska, are you okay? Just, you've seen, you've been kind of quiet. Oh? So you actually want to know what I'm thinking now? You want my opinion? Yes. I'm not really sure what's going on right now. What? I was wondering why you're so pissed off at me. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm not pissed off at you. You haven't done shit basically at all since I've been here. I just can't believe I'm back stuck in this tacky rumpus stack after all of this. After all of that, I'm going to look like an idiot if I don't get back out there. I don't think anybody's going to notice. I guess you did go viral, but the news moves so fast these days, I don't think anybody's like glued to their phones waiting for your new hashtag resistance content. We could do something if you wanted. Huh? If you're bored. This isn't my house, but Harry has video games and movies and shit. Actually, we're probably better off not watching his movies. His taste is worse than his dad's. Ugh. No, I don't want to watch a fucking movie. How the fuck can you think about movies? Are you okay with any of this? Any of what? Being left at home like a couple of dribbling wigglers. How are you so calm right now? You're Lucai, we're training you, right? And you're a troll. You're definitely 5 times stronger than a human. And for my clone, you are way more badass than Little Miss Fussy Fangs. I can't believe you just stayed behind. Well, they told me to. They're my moms. And you just listen to everything they say? No, not really. I used to sneak out a lot, and they'd absolutely flip their shit if they ever got into my search history. But I guess the situation is kind of serious. There's a whole plan and stuff like that. Clearly not a good plan, because then I would be a part of it. What's the point of me even coming to this shitty fake reality if I'm not supposed to fix it? I think they got a strategy or whatever. That's just even more indication that they don't even know what they're doing. Londe and Miriam have had however many sweeps to get older and stupider, but from where I'm standing, it was really only a few days ago that I was their commander. I am primed for the battlefield. I ran their shit. Wait, really? They never told me that. I thought you said you knew some lore. You knew about Tavros and Trezzy. You told me you do. Yeah, they told me about that stuff, but a lot of the shit that happened in the session is just not in the history books. You weren't really mentioned that much. Excuse me? People know who you are because we had to memorize the names of every one of the players, even the ones who didn't last very long. You're telling me that there's a whole recorded history of Scrub, and I'm not in it? You're not in it. I guess they mostly focused on the creators who ascended, you know? Whoever was school feeding you was a complete bald sucker, because I ascended before any of the humans did. Literally billions of years before, since our session was the one that created theirs. I was the one. Wait, I was the. Does he use eights for even the G's? That seems like a weird one to do. Of I was because this would have been the then I was the one who guided John's buffoonish blue ass all the way through his first few days in the medium. I made all the plans to take down the jocks or jacks. I single handedly cured your mother's fucking alcoholism. Vriska, everything okay over there? Everything's fine, John. Okay. Do you girls want a snack? Uh, yeah, actually, a snack sounds great, Mr. Egbert. I'm not sure where. Oh! Don't actually live here. Vriska, eat whatever. Just not the zebra cakes. Those are mine. Nice. So anyway, as you can see, this would have worked just fine. No, I think Carcast right. This looks like shit, Dad. You know, me letting your earlier use of the word fuck slide wasn't a blanket approval for all the cursing in front of me. Sorry. Try not to make such a shit plan, and I won't call it that. Okay, wow. It's not like I think I'm any better. I mean, I still can't believe I told Versity and them to bring a dead celery to school. What was I thinking? You were thinking it sounded hilarious. But yeah, in hindsight, maybe not the best call. Maybe it's genetic. Yeah, I can't believe we're all still alive, actually. And how did you make it this far, being so bad at this? I had my friends with me, I guess. They are silent for a bit. John doesn't want to go on reminiscing Johns, but Harry Anderson stopped finding impressive, which Harry Anderson stopped finding impressive a few years ago. Plus, they haven't really had time to talk about what happened with Dave yet, and he still doesn't want to tank the mood by bringing him up. The rapport they've built feels good, stronger than expected. He spent so long seeing mostly the best parts of Roxy and Harry Anderson. He forgot, he guesses, to look for himself in there too. And if they have in common right now is a lack of strategic foresight, hey, they'll take it. Speaking of friends, I will say the snacks were a good call at least. I don't hear any more screaming anyway. See, that's one good plan between the two of us. Oh, that was definitely them leaving, wasn't it? Ah, well, isn't this just heartwarming? The prodigal daughter returned to the loving bosom of her family. Oh, is this one of those rare and marvelous beasts? The villain speech? I've written one or two in my time. I'm on the edge of my seat. I hope it's better than your political material. I always found that rather trite. I haven't given a political speech in years, Miss Lalonde, and I don't know what you're referring to. I'm just a simple businesswoman. Right, with her own talk show and multi-billion-dollar merchant company and lobbying groups. That's what a businesswoman is, Jade dear. But enough of that. I'll skip straight to the point. You are on my territory, in the presence of my secret police, laying your hand on my investments. You think I come anywhere unprepared? I haven't left the house without an armed guard in years. Is it the libidinous power rush that comes from snapping your fingers at men with guns? Or are you worried that you might accidentally do something heroic? Your ship is in contested airspace. You will land, whereby you will be confiscated by the Royal Human Guard. After that, you'll be taken into custody. All of you. Let's call it a family vacation, shall we? Hoo, hoo, hoo. Wow. Could you be any more full of yourself? Shut the fuck up for a minute and look up. Oh wow, she's actually. If you make one single move, I will bite him directly on the exterior shock tunnel. I will turn your son into a rainbow drinker. Then you will have a rainbow drinker son. That's not how troll vampirism works. Don't treat me like an imbecile. You think I don't know everything there is to know about your disgusting biology? Okay then. I'll just break his fucking neck. Right. Listen to Kanai. She's having a bad day. I'm having a bad week. I know you've never trusted Kanaya with any of the children in the past. Let that distrust be the instrument of your undoing. If any harm comes to us, or Yiffany, or if you attempt to shoot us down, or in any other way disable our escape, then we'll kill your son. Jane Crocker hesitates. This is something she used to do regularly. Hesitate. Stop and think and weigh her options. Talk out every possible scenario and the impact they may have, morally and optically and socially. What will the political apparatus think? What would her social media followers think? Her friends. As the years went by and she honed her instincts, she found herself doing this less and less. The impact her words made became less lessened when spread across such a wide and thirsty audience. As public sentiment began to swing her way, she stopped thinking about how she would be received and more about how she could play to the people she knew would receive her favorably. Looking up, she sees Tabby with tears in his eyes. Rage and guilt surge inside her. The situation is not her fault. This situation is not my fault. You're coming here and accusing me of kidnapping your daughter when you're the ones who kidnapped my son. So before you accuse me, take a look at yourself. I'm the only one who has taken any interest in her upbringing or education. Or have you forgotten who has been paying for her schooling and taking charge of her instruction into society? I never asked you to do that. You offered. So stop calling me ungrateful for not sucking your dick over things I never asked for. Jane pulls in a steady breath. Behind her, she hears the clicks of cameras and the murmur of newscasters. The world is watching her be dressed down by a couple blood traitor rebels, one of which has very prominent dog ears. Jane wonders if either of them are even recognizable to the assembled as two of the old gods. One of her PR managers had recommended that she kept her look as static as possible so that people can always recognize her as Jane Crocker, captain of industry, creator of Earthsea, maintainer of peace and plenty. She just can't stand here and let herself be humiliated, allowing two architects of the insurgency mess her around like this. If they were to kill Tavros, the entire world will see them commit this war crime, and weighed in the balance. Yolanda and Harley would be off the playing board. Saving your dumb daughter certainly counted as heroic death, and with the damage they've done to humanity, it would also be just. Tavros has not called out for her once. Perhaps he knows what her choice was always going to be. Tabby? Stand down! No! Get out of my sights! Vriska Miriam Lalonde, recently Vrisley, and potentially you are so grounded you are never leaving this house again, isn't what's commonly referred to as an outside girl. She likes grass, it's fine to look at, and so are trees as long as they're somewhere off in the distance. Swaying gently in the breeze, traveling through them is not on the list of acceptable tree activities. Rissy is already sweaty and dirt streaked. And there's probably like 50 gnats trying to drink her eye fluids. At this rate, she almost envies Tavros his role as Batter Witch Bates. Sure, he has to pretend to be threatened by Brissy's mom, which is lame as hell and they also very embarrassing, but at least his eye fluids are safe. Hey, can you slow down a little? I have to run over shrubs and shit. I can't fly. Ha. And whose fault is that? My shitty biology, I guess. Sorry, not all of us had scrub sessions to make ourselves immortal. Well, we'll take care of that. Don't worry about it. Well, all I wish. Miss Roxy was talking about coming up with some sort of autonomous flying device, but it got shot down by the council. What the fuck is that? Uh, a governing body, sort of. I'm not actually sure how much power they have anymore. With with like the Batterwitch seizing control of everything, but they were really against anybody who wasn't a creator being able to fly, since it's sort of a religious thing. Oh, well, that's fucking stupid. What good is religion that stops your society from being able to advance? How could John even let this happen? Don't answer that. I know it's because he spent sweeps being a sweaty loser. But anyway, that was what I meant. Sure, you could get a fucking jetpack or whatever, but ultimately, that isn't going to cut it. I had rocket boots that I used at the beginning of my session. Who didn't? That's a wiggler shit. That's wiggler shit. You can't start to rely on tech. It breaks, and enemies can sabotage it. Really, we have to get you a god tier. That's pretty much the only solution at this point. Ideally, we go back to when you were just a wiggler and start your training right away, but that's not exactly an option. So god tier, oh dear lord, she's gonna kill her. Is that even possible outside of the game? Nope. But we don't have to worry about it anymore once we go back and scrub. What? We have to start this shit over again. You have all let it get so out of hand. There's really nothing else to do besides a hard reset. Oh. How are you gonna do that? I got a plan. Look up ahead. What? A scrub session? What? No, what the fuck? This is a perfect spot for a fight. And ambush points. Don't worry about it. That's good. That's what we were looking for. Who are we ambushing? Don't be stupid. We're the ones being ambushed. Your face is priceless. This is actually way more fun than I thought it'd be. Bring around a younger, dumber me. I think we're basically the same age. Whatever. Oh! Oh, fuck. Finally! Oh. Everyone else is going through the shit. Alright. Vriska! Vriska's. Where are you? Oh, fuck. Rough day, huh? Carcat? What are you doing here? It's nice to see you too. John, you may not have noticed, but I'm the leader of an army. My place is on the battlefield. I suppose that is true, but that doesn't answer my question. This isn't a battlefield, it's just the obliterated, smoldering husk of your former home. Well, yeah. Which was destroyed as collateral in an ongoing military conflict. Alright, fine. It just feels weird to call it that. Guess I'm used to thinking of home as somewhere far away from all that war stuff. Jesus Christ to John. I cannot even begin to list all the ways in which that constitutes a short sighted and puke worthily ignorant thing to say to me personally. And frankly, I don't have time to bother. Thanks to the countless fires I've been putting out all day, the one presently consuming your hive notwithstanding, you know, what would have made things go a bit more smoothly? Just a fraction. If you hadn't just decided to wander off the instant shit started happening, jeez, I'm sorry, Carcat. I had no idea how much time had passed. I might have gotten a bit distracted by my house being blown up. Not wanting to point out the obvious, but I feel like this was a problem that you of all people were uniquely and magically equipped to deal with. Huh? You know, with your swoosh thing? My swoosh thing? Your swoosh thing! The gusty nonsense? The gift of gas? Your suburb allocated blowjob? Huh? The supernatural communion you have with all things windy, you ask? Oh, right, that! That would have let me put out the fire, maybe. I don't think there's anything in my skill set that would have unexploded my house, though. That's fair. I suppose I'll add one more notch to the daily tally of crazy stuff that just happened, which I just have to accept as my life now. So, what else happened while I was caught up watching the symbolic representation of my former life getting consumed in a giant fireball? Oh boy, where to start? So, first off, in hindsight, today was pretty obviously just one huge baited trap. I say in hindsight, but fortunately, it was also extremely apparent, even in foresight, to those of us who spend a few seconds thinking about it. Right. Come on, Egbert. Seriously? Kidnapping a person of importance only to let us know precisely where and on what occasion they would be most accessible for a rescue attempt? Having that occasion be none other than the corpse party of a highly noteworthy political figure, whose casket might as well have had a giant kick me sign dabbed on it. There's basically no way it wasn't a front for something huge. And it was. We happen to be sitting in front of one facet of that hugeness at this very moment. Well, when you put it like that, I guess we all got pranked pretty hard, huh? This is no time for your shitty nerd pranks, John. Frankly, I'm insulted that you think such a word is even remotely opposite to the present situation. Other than to describe the way I am personally being pranked by reality and having to explain all of this to you. Anyway, the rescue attempt? This is the only point where any semblance of good news came into play, so savor it. Okay. It turns out we didn't need to put in so much effort into the rescue, and to rescuing Yiffany part of the operation. She basically rescued herself when all was said and done, and took care of kicking Gamzee's corpse box over while she was at it, in a stunning display of efficiency which the rest of us can only aspire to. Huh. Oh, wow. I knew she had a bit of character being Rose and Jade's daughter and all. That's impressive. Sounds like she's a pretty welcome addition to the ranks then. She's a child, you moron. Oh, and speaking of which, pausing briefly to note in advance how much I loathe the fact that this is an eventuality that the universe has to once again seem fit to curse us with. The Vriskas. Plural. Shit. They've been captured. Shit. Yeah, we're keeping an eye on them, by the way. You literally had one job and you messed it up in the equally singular way it was possible to do. I know. Having said that, this was the one thing up Rocker's sleeve you could be excused from not having seen coming. I guess because, on the face of it, it's just totally fucking bananas. Jade's plan for this conflict has thus far consisted almost entirely of kidnapping various high-profile children. It's bizarre, as though we are fighting a war of attrition where the main resource being utilized is the offspring of the most powerful people on the planet. If it wasn't one of the core tenets of our fascistic philosophy, I'd be tempted to say that curbing reproduction might have been a good idea, if only to prevent this kind of fuck shit nonsense from happening. Wait a minute. You said that both Riskas were captured, right? Excuse me while I weep for joy at the revelation that you have been paying attention for once. Okay, putting that emotional outburst aside for a moment, how's that even possible? Doesn't Vriska, the original Vriska, still have her magic alien mind powers? It seems like it'd be basically impossible for anyone to kidnap her. You stumbled ass backwards across the most important part of this unfortunate development. You are correct in that with her cast typical, complete specific, and not even a little bit magical psycho-manipulative abilities, staying out of Crocker's reach should have been completely trivial for Sir Cat Prime, even accounting for the fact that said abilities are not nearly as potent on humans as they are on fellow trolls. They still ought to have tipped an altercation squarely in her favor, but somehow it didn't. Instead, things have gone globes up in classic Vriska fashion, And now, one of the most unexpected and unwanted, but nevertheless useful weapons in our arsenal is now doing time in Crocker jail. That's about all we've been able to glean from tapping into the Batter Witch airwaves, which is a fancy term for eavesdropping on those of our agents who talk a little too loudly in semi-public places. Jeez, I really screwed this up, didn't I? I'm relieved to see that your grasp of that fact is pretty good, at least. Having said all that, and with the recognition that I am choosing to nurse your bruised feelings during a planet-wide conflict for the fate of my species, is there anything I can do to expedite your getting the fuck over it? I I don't know. I don't really know. This all feels wrong, Carcat. No offense, but when you're around, it's usually a lot what, a lot funnier. Funnier. How to put this? Normally, listening to you go on and on about how much we fuck everything up is just very funny, but now it's just not the same. Maybe it's part of what's going on in this entire reality. I don't know. Once upon a time, I would have put down your ability to pull a silly rant out of your butt as fundamental law of physics or something. I remember back when we first knew each other, I felt like all you'd ever say to me was how much you thought I was screwing up and being a useless asshole. And once I realized you were also just a dumb kid who didn't know what was going on, I started to kind of enjoy it. But now it's like the only one who's still a dumb kid is me, and everyone else has something big and important going on that I just don't understand. I thought that I finally got what was going on with this whole war and everything. I wanted to be useful. I guess I got a little too wrapped up in the feelings of something finally happening again, and then watching it all blow up in your face, kind of literally, now that I think about it, it's hard not to feel even more dejected about the situation than I was before. And now even the patented Carcat rant has lost all its sparkle. Maybe if you had like painstakingly itemized the list of all the things wrong with my plan in a completely overdone fashion or something, I considered it. But honestly, there was so much wrong that I concluded that the best thing for everyone would be to never speak of it again. Oh, okay. For being honest, you didn't even have a plan, John. Calling it a plan would imply that it was a structured sequence of steps designed to achieve a goal. What you came up with was a convoluted mess, which still somehow involved doing fuck all. And I use convoluted here in the same way that I would use to describe the frenzied draw stick scribbles of a squalling human infant. Speaking of which, drawing a shitty picture with the ultimate plan at the top and a bunch of arrows does not, and to the best of my knowledge has never, constituted an actionable plan. Do not respond to the criticism with another miserable expression. I am begging you. Okay. Look, I appreciate that you seem to have dug your pan out of your own chutes, the few micrometers necessary to notice the precise degree to which the world is being judiciously bat fucked right now. As hard as it is to believe, that's a feat which no small number of people are completely incapable of doing. But noticing the problem and making meaningful progress towards solving it are two completely different things. The next time you get the impulse to lend a hand, you'd be better off canning it for 5 minutes and listening to those of us who've been trying to solve it a lot longer than you. This isn't an exercise being conducted in order for you to prove your personal degree of moral rectitude, and if it was, you would have already failed miserably. So do yourself and everyone else a favor and stop treating it like one. Well, all right, if you say so, Carcat. I do say so, emphatically and at great volume. And now that my obligation to catchize you on the subject of your own life is fulfilled, I have a war to get back to. Wait, hold on. Oh my god, what now? You can't be leaving already. There's so much we still need to talk about. Of course I'm shitting leaving. What more could there possibly be for us to discuss? Please do not tell me you just had another emotion we need to drop everything in order to dissect. No, that's not what I'm talking about at all. Carcat, we still haven't spoken about you. About me. Yes. About me. About you. What the fuck about me? Well, you know, how you feel, how I feel, or just, I don't know. It's just been so long since we've seen each other. All sorts of things have happened in this time, and it doesn't feel like right to just not even mention any of it. Like what? I don't know, Carcat, literally anything. I mean, look at you. You're decked out in a tight bodysuit and have an eye patch and everything. There is simply no way there isn't something to discuss there. Well, like, forget the eye patch. We don't have to talk about the eye patch. I feel as though my point still stands. There's basically a bottomless well full of stuff to go through. I mean, we kind of glossed over it when you brought her up earlier. What about Euphony? This might not come across so easily due to human troll cultural boundaries, but her existing is kind of a big deal. I feel like somehow I missed the part where we all sit around and talk about how strange it is that two of our friends went off and had a secret child without any of us knowing. Is it too much to ask that we have that part now, Carcat? I mean, maybe it just doesn't mean that much to you? John. Which is a little strange given that it ties into the conflict that you had with Jade and Dave. Oh my god, we have to talk about Dave. John, fucking hell. I don't want to talk about Dave. No, this is what I mean, Carcat. We need to talk about Dave. Like shit we do. I have no fucking clue how this is even a relevant topic of conversation. Oh, come on. There's no way you aren't feeling kind of messed up about him, right? I know I am. Whenever I think about how things end up between you two, especially now that he's... I, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Cockcat. Sorry, it doesn't even begin to cover it. This whole thing feels so impossibly sad. All I'm trying to say is, it's not healthy to bottle these things up and not acknowledge them. Even if you aren't feeling anything right now, and I don't for a moment believe that's true, I need to talk about Dave. So can you please just talk about Dave for a moment? Fine. If it'll get you to shut up about this topic for even a brief moment, then fine. Regardless of how pointless an exercise I consider it to be, I will discuss with you my feelings for Dave. Okay, thank you. Are you prepared to be inundated with none other than an uninterrupted spate of hard, unembellished data of this, my sweep suppressed, bisculate emotions on the Dave situation? Well, here goes. He's only going to say like 2 words. Oh no, he's actually going off. All right. You know what I really feel about Dave? How I feel is that I wish that everyone would stop fucking bothering me about him. Alright, so he and Jade got human married. Big deal. Do people forget that I was there? I feel like everyone's forgetting that I was really invited to the occasion. I've even come to expect this kind of amnesiac behavior from everyone else, since I admit that I didn't exactly stick around or actually show my face for most of the ordeal. But you, Egbert, should have no fucking excuse. Wait, Carcat, that's not what I... So yeah, that whole thing happened, and I came to terms with whatever there was to come to terms with, which was fucking nothing. And then I got on with the actual important business of trying to prevent the world from crumbling, which, now that we're on the subject, is still fucking happening. I am utterly appalled that this is an info morsel. I keep having to spoon feed down your wind chute every 5 seconds, Sean. I really am. I mean, holy shit. Now is not the time for this. And one thing I can say with absolute ironclad certainty is that if Dave were here, he would say the same thing. Speaking of which, where is Dave? I feel like if anyone could have prevented today from devolving into a headless clusterfuck, it would have been, okay, maybe not him, but at least he might have helped drag you out of your depressive figure a little sooner. Oh shit. Not only that, but maybe with both of us here, we could have dispensed with this entire sorry topic once and for all, if only for your benefit. Oh, hi, Dave. John seems to be under the impression that the unspoken history between us is of sufficient import that we need to hash it out this very second in front of the blasted remains of his home. Yo, Carkid, that seems like a strange thing for my best friend John to be concerned with, about given that he has spent the past 5 years wallowing in the depths of deepest divorce fever. And especially since Jade and I have meanwhile been working as part of your resistance with no complaints, but sure, we can bro fist each other and arrange our limbs in an unambiguously platonic way. A way which is also flawlessly calculated to communicate to everyone present that here are two guys who are totally and unequivocally over each other. Oh god, you don't. That sounds like a great idea, Dave. And with that, maybe that way we can wash our touch stumps of this whole ordeal and never have to speak of it again. Would you like that, John? Would that satisfy your cravings for catharsis on the subject of Dave? Well, why don't we try it then? In fact, why don't you call Dave and get him over here right now? Oh my god. Maybe we should get Jade to come as well. Fuck, why not invite fucking everyone? Why not press pause on the whole race war for a moment and have one huge feeling jam lawn meal where we all publicly expedite our various convoluted emotions. Forget peace talks. Get fucking Crocker to come. Maybe the side of a Dave Cat reconciliation is the secret key to unlocking the part of her brain that stops her from being a genocidal racial bitch. How could we have not been possibly? How could we have possibly been so blind? If Gamsey weren't dead, you could have invited him as well. Well, that's okay. We still have a veritable menagerie of people who still aren't dead, all of whom I am sure will be simply delighted to attend what will undoubtedly be the single most important event in Earthsea's bullshit history. If that's what it takes, Egbert, then I am prepared to do it then. Don't you think that I won't? It's just for an instant. It will get everyone off my case about this. I will stand up with Dave in front of the entire fucking world and solemnly vow that I will not give a shit. Carcat! Fuck, this is too much. I thought you knew. Knew what? Dave's gone, Carcat. He's dead. I didn't mean for you to find out like this at all. I only heard about it yesterday, but I was convinced someone else already told you. Especially one minute he was there and the next. None of us knew how it happened. It doesn't make any sense that he's dead, but he is. He is dead and he's not coming back. Talk to me, Carcat, please. Please talk to me. He, he didn't even say goodbye. And that is the recording.